We've got Pinoy Pride on the show today as Filipino-American actor Vincent Rodriguez III is in town to share the tricks of the trade while reconnecting with his Filipino roots. And he's here to tell us the story and more. Magandang umaga, Vinny. It's a beautiful day.
Mr. Ka, it is a beautiful day.
Oh, we sound the same when we speak Tagalog.
I want to sing, it's a beautiful day and I can't stop. I was like, I love that song.
Yes, Vinny, I have an ally today on the show.
Yes, you
They
do.
always make fun of me for my Tagalog, so we sound the same. Thank you for being here.
Ayaw.
Thank you, not.
I grew up with both. Paolo was not prepared for that.
I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything at the moment. I'm good. No, but Vinny, thank you so much for coming on over. Like you've made Mo feel more at home today as a Fil-Am coming home.
We're literally neighbors in the U.S., so thank you.
Where do you live?
I was born in San Jose.
Oh my God!
Yeah, so
oh
we're
my
down the
gosh!
street.
All my other friends live in San Jose. Hercules.
Besties, Vinny. We're besties today.
The Philippines we brought the Philippines to the Bay Area.
Exactly.
Actually, I think you're both
literally.
right. You're both right.
But I want to know, Vinny, when you started Crazy Ex-Girlfriend and you played the role of Josh, how was that like stepping into the shoes of Josh, especially representing the Filipino-American community?
Well, it was an honor to be blessed with such a role, especially after pursuing a career on Broadway for 11 years in New York, which was my dream, and a dream I fought for in my family because it wasn't always championed by my dad. My mom just wanted me to be happy, but my dad didn't understand the business, and he wanted me to be successful. That's a love language, wanting your kids to be successful.
Right.
That's all he wanted, and I learned that as I grew up, and I also learned how much I'm really like my dad. Except I like show business, entertainment, and I also love educating and teaching and giving back. And I do have the skill of teaching ever since I graduated from school in 2003. And so getting the role of Josh was monumental because I was told I wasn't supposed to be a lead. I was treated like, no, you're a character actor. You're not a leading man. You're too short. You're too this. You're too that. And I listened to them and it hurt my heart, but I knew inside, deep inside, they're wrong. And I knew if I studied, if I paid attention, if I used my awareness, my intellect, my mind, my soul, my natural passions, if I follow them, I can't go wrong because that's me.
Right.
No one else is me, right? You're unique, you're beautiful. There's so much talent and light in you, and people need to be reminded of that. And so getting the role of Josh was an opportunity to take a role that was for an Asian actor. They didn't specify the type of ethnicity.
Yeah.
And so when they hired me, Josh Chang became Josh Chan. And they honored my heritage, and they knew I was Filipino. I told them stories about how I grew up and what my friend group was like, which is very similar to Josh. There was like one white guy. White Josh was not a character in the show that was designed. It was created by finding actors who inspired the creation of a role. And that's an example that I learned in New York, where you bring your art to the work and you elevate the material with your point of view and your experience that no one else has to enhance the creative, the collaboration. You make it together. It's brand new when you work together. Your idea might be good, but what happens if you combine the ideas of someone else that you don't even know and you play? Then you can discover. So I got to do that on Crazy Ex, creating the role of Josh Chan. I was the janitor of this character. I held all the keys, how he feels, how he sees the world, and I felt so appreciated, valued, loved. I'm on a text chain with those people. They always make me laugh. I champion them. I love them. Rachel Bloom and I still text, and I feel grateful to have put Filipinos on the map, getting Lea Salonga to play my aunt, which made me faint.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I fainted.
I can only imagine how you felt when the confirmation came in.
I literally fainted.
Yeah.
Paolo, I fainted. I'm in the writer's room. Aline Brosh McKenna tells me, and even she tells the story, Vinny fainted.
How long were you out?
Yeah.
Like a scooch.
Okay.
Just a scooch.
I had to come up there like, Vinny, are you okay?
I would not have been able to handle that.
Yeah.
And now we're friends, and I saw her in Old Friends on Broadway and in LA, and I like the idea of lifting up the communities that we belong to. So I do that with the API community as a Filipino-American, even a member of their union in LA, going to the picket line, believing in the unity and uplifting others, not just thinking about yourself, because we need one another. We're here for each other. And also in the LGBTQ community, I want to represent and open the hearts and minds of the viewers, which is one of the hallmarks of working at Hallmark, because I got to do 2 Hallmark movies the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And I became, the first year, I became one half of the very first same-sex couple to ever star in a Hallmark movie.
Oh, that's amazing. And I'm a fan of Hallmark movies.
Well,
I love watching
I'm like,
them.
what specifically?
Your movie.
Oh, thank you. Christmas on Cherry Lane?
Yeah,
oh my gosh. I mean, that one. Or Season's Greetings on Cherry Lane.
Exactly.
Which Cherry Lane are we?
The Vinny Cherry Lane. That's what I want.
Oh my gosh, I never heard of that. I like that. I see a movie, I see a spinoff.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming. It's coming.
Make sure to credit me.
Yeah.
Vision. It's like my friend Monique, she came up with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And Monique will get a bit of credit there. But Vinny, we're going to focus first on the fact that you love educating. One of the reasons why you're here, you're reconnecting with your culture, rediscovering a bit more of yourself. I mean, what I love about talking about Filipinos who grew up overseas, not necessarily from the States, is that when they talk about being Filipino, sometimes they have a hard time grasping it until they come home. And sometimes they have a hard time trying to figure it out, trying to reconnect with what it means to be Filipino to people who grew up to being in the Philippines, right? So, I mean, you come home, you're trying to educate, you're trying to teach, and at the same time, you're learning as well. I can only imagine how the process is like for you.
Well, there's a phrase called a teaching artist. And I learned that when I did my very last national tour, Anything Goes, the Broadway national tour. I was Luke. And as close as I got to Broadway was doing national tours of those shows, but working with Kathleen Marshall, the Tony Award-winning director and choreographer, and because we had the opportunity of teaching for the Roundabout Theater Company, and they called us teaching artists, and that stayed with me because I was already teaching, but I didn't know what that meant, and I started to define it for myself. A teaching artist is an artist, professional, any level, who chooses to teach. So between jobs. You could argue I can take a vacation, spend time with my husband. We do. We enjoy living life and being people. But I cannot deny my passion and drive to give away the things that I have, the things I didn't know I had, the things that I fought for and waited for other people to validate in me. And that was a discovery I made during the pandemic, and it was very emotional. Finding out that I'm neurodivergent, I'm gifted, I have ADHD, I'm a hypersensitive person. This is science. And I was shocked. I cried, mourning the life I didn't get to live because I waited for other people to tell me who I am and that I'm enough. And now I know the truth. We have it in us, and I want to give that gift back. So it's not just about teaching arts, helping you get a job or work on your voice or work on your character work or work on your dialect, because you have to learn how to do all these accents in school.
I
you have to listen to everything.
learned that. Oh my goodness.
But to hear it, it's like a song, and you have to go for it and listen to it and aware of it, and then you could do it. But so these ideas, but because that was the kid I was.
Amazing.
You were singing Britney and Whitney, and then we were singing Frank Sinatra. I bet, I think I can see it. I can just see you with that in the sway.
Yeah, no. That's actually accurate. But
You
then let's move on.
But see, when you do that, when you're in touch with who you are and what you love, that's you. And I love the idea of helping actors do that because it's such a hard business. It's a business. It's not show play. It's show business. And I've seen it and I felt it. I've been through the challenges of my family accepting me and feeling that resistance, that pull, tension, and that pressure to be successful, thinking that that was the only way I would get accepted by my family. And I realized, no, they love me. And they love me unconditionally. And that's the love I have in my life. Those are the people I keep with me. And that's how I treat my students. I create a space where they feel safe to try and fail. Fail big. Fail and risk. Risk failure at the possibility of success. That's how you win.
Yeah. No, Vinny, so, I know my co-anchors here, after you did that accent, I know they also want to try. We have voice talent Tita over here. She wants to have her debut as well. Trying out an accent.
I wouldn't even want to try.
No, but that's the thing. You have to try.
I can only say expecto patronum.
Expecto patronum.
Expecto patronum.
Expecto patronum.
I should join your master classes. But anyway, your master classes are happening this week, almost done. We're wrapping up Sunday.
No, we wrap up Sunday, but there's 6 master classes left because this is a 3-day intensive.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah. Friday is another 3, so that's Friday night at I believe it's 6:15, 7:15. Yeah, at 4.
Close enough.
Close enough. So 4 o'clock at Mirror Studios.
Okay.
And and there's all 6 masterclasses are different. So those 3 that I teach, they range from dance to acting on camera, audition technique, singing your song, not performing your song.
Yeah.
Sing the song, sing the story. Who is the character? What are they going through? People don't just respond to the beauty of your voice or what they see. We have empathy as human beings, and we feel each other. So if you feel it, you don't have to work to get me to feel it. It's gonna be there. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's real. Bluetooth, we use it all the time. Emotions and empathy are the same thing. So putting that into what we do as artists, and I'm gonna teach that on Friday, I'm gonna teach that on Sunday in the morning, again at your studios, but Sunday will conclude the last 6, and hopefully I'll bring this back to the States, other places there, bringing my solo show as well, and coming back here as often as I can.
And every time you come back here, you have a master class, right?
I always like to teach between jobs. So right now I'm between jobs. I actually have a voiceover project coming out. It's going to be pretty big, global, and I can't wait to talk about it then. So that's my hint. That's my hint.
Which
And
you're going to be talking
Yes,
about
we will,
here
we will.
once it's announced?
you know,
Yes,
maybe.
okay.
You know, I'll have to
Perhaps.
check my schedule. I would be honored to come back here.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
But you know,
Yes.
Vinny, what I love about what you're doing right now in terms of teaching and when it comes to trying to educate people, one of the things that, first of all, I love the fact that you're so open, that you're so empathetic, that you try your best to connect with everyone. And what I really like about the way that you're going about your work is that I feel like you're teaching people, because in the arts especially, when there is no conflict, there's no drama, so you always have to be comfortable around conflict. And all of a sudden, you're teaching people how to cope. And coping is probably the most difficult thing out there. Because
It
you're
is.
coping with rejection, you're coping with making mistakes, and you're coping with the idea that, hey, maybe for some people I'm not good enough, but I gotta be.
You are enough. Don't let anyone tell you different. You choose who you are. You're born with an inner truth at birth, but as you live life, you have to get in touch with your power. And actors are a beautiful example of that. So are all of you who chose to be here. You know you can handle and do difficult things because you're here. Any student that comes into the class, you know how I know you're going to be successful? Because you showed up. You're in front of me right now. That is a sign of faith in yourself. It doesn't matter what level you are. I have beginner actors who don't know anything about their voice, who don't know how to body language. They're not aware of these things that you guys do all the time. They have to be trained, and the only way you learn is through failure. Because if you're perfect, there's no room for growth. When you fail, you grow. So you can tell me how talented you think I am or how wonderful you see me, you think I am on stage. That's because I was willing to fail, and I did, and I paid for it. In money, in blood, sweat, and tears. In New York City, they say if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. And I didn't know if I made it because I didn't achieve the dream, the end result that I set out for myself. I got something better. I got something that allowed me to resonate with a wider audience. I love Broadway, and people come from all over the world to see Broadway, the West End. I dream of working at those places, Australia, going back to Canada, playing Germany, the UK, Singapore. I want to travel and share art and work with other artists. You can only do that if you're willing to learn how to cope. You have to be resilient, and you have to be true to, and remember to surround yourself with people who believe in what's possible, because that's literally what our job is as actors. To believe in something, have faith in something, know you can do it. Because if you do voiceover work, you don't have a script sometimes. You just show up, and you don't know what you're gonna say, you don't know who you're gonna work with. Is it one person on Zoom or 3 people on Zoom? Who are they? What do they do? What are their names? You learn their names. You create for 4 hours, and what you come up with is better than anything you could have come up with by yourself. And that is the beauty of art. And that's in voiceover, in TV, film, theater. There's a synergy, a commonality. So I think even you as journalists, as interviewers, there's something that you're driven by, the story, that connection to human beings. We just do it in different ways. So I like to share those abilities and the skills you need to cope with the challenges of that environment, so that you can sustain, you can go beyond surviving, and you can thrive, and you can help others do the same by being the example, living an inspired life, knowing that other people are inspired by you.
Oh, I love that, especially with like all of us.
We were just listening.
I know, I'm
here
so
and,
taken
absorbing
away.
everything, all this positive energy, all this inspiration from you. That's the whole interview right there.
Yeah. No, and it's amazing because what you're saying is art is a collaborative effort, and without Paolo, Ann, and I, and the whole team, It's a Beautiful Day wouldn't be here.
Exactly.
It wouldn't be the same.
Yeah.
So everything you said, spot on. But I want to go back and talk about, you mentioned earlier you have a secret voiceover project coming up. We're going to talk about that on your next guesting. But what I want to talk about now is what our viewers don't know is actually that you voiced Raiden, right, from Mortal Kombat. Let's get a sample of that. I want to hear. And how did that come about?
Well, I auditioned during the pandemic. I had no idea that it was for that game. I had no idea it was for that character. The character was called New Guy. And they gave me a log line, a basic story. And they said, in a world that, they were vague, very vague.
Yeah.
And even with the character, I think I had a 4 or 5 adjective breakdown, which is a character breakdown. And every TV show, movie, every audition, they tell you who the character is, their age, now all the specifics from the script that you don't get to always have because you don't just get to read the script. So here's the character we made, here's the log line, here are the sides. What do you got? Give us your ideas. That's what every self-tape, every audition is. What are your ideas? Good, bad, or indifferent. Try them out. Show us your best work. And then let's see if it works. Let's see if it fits. So the no that you were talking about, Paolo, is not no, you're not good enough. It's no, not for this part. Because guess what? That casting director could be saving your audition. Because maybe you're right for something else in the future.
Yeah.
So always bring your best. And so when I voiced Raiden, and not knowing it was for Raiden, I just brought my best. And they said, if you have a Chinese accent, use it and give us options. So I did one with a Chinese accent. I created the character to be kind of like Bruce Lee, because they said he was like a monk, he was wise, he was a warrior but gentle. And I thought, oh man, well, Bruce Lee's a great comp, like a great comparison. I'm going to get inspiration. So I listened to it, I researched it, and I developed it, did it myself, and then I read the lines and I discovered things in the moment, sent off that audition, and I didn't say my name until after the audition, which is not uncommon because sometimes they don't want to know who you are. They just want to hear the work. And halfway through, Dominic, the guy who created this world of Mortal Kombat, said, when I heard your audition, halfway through I went, is that Josh Chan? He had watched Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, and then he heard my name and oh my gosh! And he told me, after I got it and we became friends, and he's like, you got the part, and I was so happy that you were Raiden, and so I got to bring this wisdom and this quality of bravery, of heroism, of righteousness, fighting for good, fighting for the light in us that outshines and overpowers the darkness. Darkness is simply an absence of light, and you have the light in you. So that helped me get the role of Raiden and get to say lines like, Kung Lao, why do you give Madame Bo such a hard time? But when it was Bruce Lee, it's, Kung Lao, why do you give Madame Bo such a hard time?
I love that.
So I had to find, because I wasn't sure, and sometimes you don't know if it's that good because you try an accent, and sometimes you have to research more and use the International Phonetic Alphabet to translate the sounds, which is actually what I did in my career, playing a Chinese role, Bun Fu, in Thoroughly Modern Millie. I had to learn Cantonese to speak Cantonese and sing in Mandarin, and I didn't know how. So I looked up the vowel substitutions and I transcribed everything into IPA so I could learn the sounds, just like I learned the sounds in Tagalog growing up.
Yeah, it's perfect. And you know what? We have to wrap things up, unfortunately. But your masterclass are still ongoing. For those who want to sign up, how can they do so before we let you go?
Oh yeah, you can sign up by going to the link in my Instagram bio or just going to my Facebook fan page. You can also just go to the website, dmhmproductions.com/events. That is my producer's production company, Don Mike Mendoza, DMH Productions. And so you can get registration there, and there are still spots. I suggest you get them soon so that you don't miss out.
Perfect. Nice. All right, Mo, you can wrap this up in Tagalog.
Maraming salamat. Maraming salamat. Pupunta ka dito this umaga. Oh my God. Oh my Tagalog.
That was really good. You're looking at me like, is that right? I'm like, don't look at me.
I know
you look at me like, I don't know what she's saying.
Yeah, because don't look at us.
Oh, don't look at me. Don't look over here.
Don't look at us. We're good.
I just embarrassed myself.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Just
you,
play.
Vinny.
Yeah, come back, please.
Oh my
Thank
God.
you for joining us.
Vinny.
It's always a beautiful day in
Always a
here.
beautiful
Always.
day.
Thank you so much again, Vinny, for coming.
Thank you.
Maraming salamat,
Maraming
Vinny. Really
salamat.
appreciate you.
Salamat,
Next
salamat.
time. All right. So